welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Rishika Barua. The big story that we're tracking is the monsoon fury across northern India. A team of reporters, Ankit Tyagi reporting from Himachal Pradesh, Vedant reporting from Punjab, and we have Parimal who's bringing us the very latest from the national capital, which, remember, the Yamuna flowing over the danger level. That's going to be our top focus story. First up, the headlines. Over 30 people have died in landslides and flash floods across the state of Himachal Pradesh. 48 hours of heavy rain has been alerted for 8 districts in Himachal Pradesh for the next 2 days. NDTV reports from Ground Zero in Punjab and Himachal. Residents swim for essentials in a Mohali society. Almost 30 hours later, the water hasn't receded as the Ghaggar Ghaggar river rather, is flowing above the danger mark as well, with water levels that have risen over 15 feet in 48 hours. Farmers, on the other hand, are fearing the worst crop loss in 3 decades. We'll get you a ground report. And it's not just Himachal Pradesh and Punjab, but heavy rain across Uttarakhand as well, with Uttarkashi and Chamoli being the worst hit districts. 4 people have died, 7 injured after a vehicle was hit by boulders. Pilgrims are believed to be buried under the debris of that vehicle. In Delhi, the Yamuna breaches the danger mark. Water level shot up to 206.32 this morning as Haryana released more water into the river from the Hatnikund barrage. And in West Bengal, the Panchayat polls counting is underway. 20 people have died in Panchayat poll violence in 4 days. Lathi charge was seen at a counting centre in Howrah. 6 people have died as a school bus and a car collided on the Meerut-Delhi expressway in Ghaziabad. The school bus, shockingly, can be seen speeding on the wrong side of the highway. All right, so we will, like I said, continue to get you the very latest on the inclement weather and the prevailing landslides and flash floods that have caused havoc across the states of Himachal Pradesh, Punjab and Uttarakhand. Our team of reporters have fanned out to get you ground reports on what really is happening in these states. I want to first get you an update on what's happening in Himachal Pradesh, which clearly at the moment at least appears to be the worst hit, with over 30 people who've died in the monsoon devastation in the state, as Himachal Pradesh has seen, or rather broken, a 50-year rainfall record on Sunday. Roads, bridges, houses, even parts of built national highways have been completely washed away as a result of the heavy rainfall since Friday. The devastation, unfortunately, is not ending for now, as heavy rain is expected in the next 48 hours in Sirmaur, Solan, Shimla, Mandi, Kullu, Lahaul, Spiti and even Kinnaur. Moderate to high risk of flash floods along the watershed as well as water channels of the districts of Bilaspur, Hamirpur, Kangra, Lahaul, Spiti, Kinnaur, Chamba, Shimla, Mandi, Kullu, Simror and Solan is expected. As most roads leading to Himachal Pradesh have been blocked because of the landslide, local authorities have appealed to tourists to not visit the state for the next couple of days, as the surplus rain in parts is to the tune of 1200% in Shimla. Since it rained over 87 millimeters in Lahaul Spiti, the surplus was over 1700%. 10 districts in Himachal Pradesh have a surplus of 10,000% at the moment. So heavy rains have triggered flash floods and landslide, wreaking absolute havoc. My colleague Ankit Tyagi is there at Ground Zero. He sent us this report from Mandi.
The situation, at least this morning, has slightly gone better. It has this morning has come with little hope. The sun is out. Which also means that post the massive rainfall, especially in the area of Mandi going to Kullu and then over to Manali, there will be increased risk of landslides. But I'm standing right at the banks of the river Beas here in Mandi. Yesterday we saw the river in full spate, though the currents are quite rapid at this moment, but not the same intensity and the ferocity that we witnessed yesterday. I also want to show you, and we've been talking about this time and again, how the construction on the banks of the river has caused or has, added to this, the misery as far as the people of Himachal Pradesh are concerned. If you could see there, a tunnel was being built, and you would see how the entire, the entire front of that mountain has in fact collapsed, the landslide which has gone right into the river. Now this forces the river not only to carry additional debris but also decreases the space in which the river is flowing, and that is why the river in fact when it's in full ferocity does change its course and enter the houses in the low-lying areas on the bank of the river. The additional advisory today, orange alert in Mandi and other places, has already been sounded, though the expectation is that today there is going to be rain which is not going to be of the same intensity. Moderate to medium intensity rain is expected in the next couple of hours in Mandi, Solan and other districts in Shimla, specifically Sirmaur, Shimla. These are the districts where heavy and very heavy rainfall has been predicted by the Met Department. But the important thing at this moment for the Himachal Pradesh Police and the administration is to ensure that there is no further loss of life. 29 people out of the 30, those who have died, have been identified. There is one unidentified body as well, but unfortunately 30 people have lost their lives due to landslides and the flash flooding in many parts of the state. Specifically speaking about the upper reaches, Laul Spiti and over Manali, there has been fresh snowfall as well. There were few tourists, those who were stranded. 300 have been rescued from the Laul Spiti area. Now coming back to Mandi, where we saw those dramatic visuals of the temple almost being submerged, that situation still continues. In fact, the administration says that by 3 p.m. they are expecting that the worst possibly for today would be over if there is no new development. And from 12th onwards, the intensity of the rainfall is going to decrease. What we are also trying to do, we are trying to reach and make our way to Pando, which is one of the worst hit areas. Day before, you saw those visuals of a market being completely inundated with massive debris, the slush, the mud and massive boulders along with the trees which had completely inundated that market. We are trying to make our way there. The roads still are cut off, specifically from till Bilaspur. Now, of course, the situation is getting slightly better. But yesterday, when we started from the national capital on our way towards Mandi, a route that would have possibly taken me about 7 hours from Delhi, almost ended up taking 11 because of the massive rainfall and the flooding situation that we saw in Punjab, where you are at this moment. Specifically speaking about the Roopnagar Ropar area, where most of the routes, in fact, were inundated. The villages were inundated. And to relieve water from their fields, what the villagers did, they dug out the main highways and the roads, linking roads. So what it did was to completely, take away or reduce the connectivity of the highway to which was coming towards, in fact, Himachal Pradesh. So that is why there were diversions. And village after village, we saw the same story with massive rainfall, which also is predicted again today in that area. It is going to be misery in Punjab, heavy rainfall in Haryana as well. But as soon as we entered Himachal Pradesh and we started moving upwards from Kiratpur, the other difficulty was that the main highway, the 4-lane expressway which is being constructed or largely has been made till Manali, in many parts that small linking bridges have washed away, or the road has completely been washed away. That is why you had to go on to the old highway, the national highway, and that is in a very bad situation, which added to the misery as far as the travelers are concerned.
Well, shifting focus from Himachal Pradesh to Punjab now, where remember Punjab and Haryana have also experienced above normal heavy rainfall and a lot of flooding in the low-lying areas. In a housing society in Mohali's Dera Basi, residents had to resort to swimming to literally go out and get essentials. There were dramatic boat rescue operations that were carried out as people in this society had to wade through knee-deep water for the last couple of days. There's a heavy rain warning for 8 cities of Punjab and a red alert for 4 areas even for today. So this, of course, is the update as far as the alert is concerned. My colleague Vedant has been reporting from ground zero in Punjab. But remember, whether it is the societies which are still inundated as a result of this extremely heavy rain, or whether it is the fields that have completely been flooded, leading to huge crop losses from farmers. We're trying to get you a 360-degree view of what's really transpiring in the state of Punjab. Take a look at the reports that Vedant has sent us.
In the drowning Tri-City area, unprecedented scenes. Residents being rescued in boats, people wading through neck-deep water, and vehicles being swept away. In the region's worst floods in nearly a decade. In Haryana's Panchkula, a road split right across. In Ambala's Mulana village, a miracle rescue, as Haryana received 40% of its July quota of rain in just 24 hours. And Punjab received nearly 70% of its July rain quota in just 2 days. Central and state rescue teams and even the Indian Army brought in to carry out evacuations of people living in low-lying areas of Dera Bassi, Patiala, Rochar and Mohali, with the Satluj, Beas and Ghaggar rivers flowing above the danger levels. With Punjab on alert, schools across the state will be shut till the 13th of July.
माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी से कल बात हुई थी फ़ोन पर, तो पंजाब के बाढ़ की स्थिति के बारे में उन्होंने पूछा और हमने सब कुछ बताया कि अभी स्थिति जो है वो कंट्रोल में है, लेकिन अगर चाहिए होगा तो हम आपको बता देंगे, अवगत करा देंगे.
While life in urban areas has been completely thrown out of gear, thousands of acres of agricultural land with standing paddy crop is under 2 feet water. This as water levels in dams on the Beas River rose by several feet in a single day. Neighbouring Haryana meanwhile, a civic mess, as the rain situation is expected to get worse. Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar held meetings to take stock of the situation in his state.
Dramatic rescue operations here in the Dera Bassi area of Punjab. People who have been trapped in their houses for the past 50 hours are now being rescued by the NDRF teams. There's no food supply, no electricity supply here currently. There you can see people actually swimming in the waist deep water. In fact, there are vehicles submerged. There you can see how people are actually supplying food and water to those people, several hundreds of them who are actually trapped in their apartments currently. And in fact, just now we saw how a family in which there was a medical emergency was rescued by the NDRF teams. Absolutely unprecedented scenes here in the Dera Bassi area of Punjab, this residential complex and several such residential complexes inundated because of the incessant rainfall. And now what is unfolding really here is a humanitarian crisis. In Dera Bassi with camera person Sushil Rathi, Vedant for NDTV. I come to you from the Amlala village in Mohali, in the interiors of the Mohali district, and what you see flowing right behind me is the Ghaggar river, which currently is flowing above danger levels. There you can see it has caused major destruction to villages along the river, in fact particularly the villages on the banks of the river. And I'm currently at the Amlala village, which is closest to the Ghaggar river. And what is a big concern right now is that farmers are now staring at major losses. Their paddy fields, and if I can ask my camera person to show you, the paddy fields have been completely inundated. The standing paddy crop has been uprooted because of the floods. In fact, if I can show you the farm which is right adjacent and very close to the Ghaggar river, right next to the Ghaggar river, just see the situation here. This farm has been completely inundated. This is not just the paddy crop, but also vegetables, cotton that the farmers had sown. They've been completely destroyed. And here you can see, this was all standing paddy crop that has been completely uprooted. And there you can see, if I can come closer to the river, in fact, the Ghaggar is flowing right here, currently overflowing, flowing above danger levels for the past 2 days. And that has become a big worry for farmers here. So this is the Ghaggar river, and close to 50 villages which are along the Ghaggar river have been impacted. This is the standing crop that has been uprooted. There you can see, and this means that major losses for farmers because the agricultural department has only just started to actually, assess these losses. And let us go across to some farmers here who have been, reeling under a lot of duress because of the rain. सर सबसे पहले ये बताइए कितना नुकसान हुआ है? आप अभी देख रहे हैं, अभी तो एग्रीकल्चरल डिपार्टमेंट ने असेस करना शुरू ही किया है, वो कितना असेस कर पाते हैं, लेकिन आप बताइए किसानों के तौर पर कितना नुकसान हुआ होगा? आपकी पूरी पैडी की जो क्रॉप है वो अप्रूव पूरी तरह जड़ से उखड़ गई है।
सर मैं इस विलेज का सरपंच हूँ। अमलाला गांव है हमारा, डेरा बसी हलके में है, एसएस नगर मोहाली में पड़ता है
जी।
ये मेरे ही गांव की पैडी है जो आप देख रहे हैं चारों तरफ, जो नुकसान हमारा ये घग्गर दरिया ने कर दिया है।
हाँ।
सो इसकी भरपाई हमारी अर्ज तो यही है कि सरकार करे।
हाँ।
कब करती है सरकार वो सरकार ने देखना है। यहाँ पे और भी बड़े ऑफिसर आके देखें। यहाँ पे सारे वैसे ऑफिसर आ रहे हैं, बीडीओ साहब, एसडीएम साहब हमारे यहाँ कल भी चक्कर लगा के गए हैं। हम ये नहीं बोलेंगे, प्रशासन आ रहा है। आज भी अभी यहाँ हमारे पटवारी जी जो हल्का पटवारी होते हैं गिरदावरी करने के लिए सो आ चुके हैं।
और ये देखिए, if I can ask my camera person to show you the extent of the damage because this is all farmlands and all of them have been inundated completely. और इससे अब ये जो मेज की खेती होती है उसमें भी इफेक्ट पड़ेगा, वो भी डिले हो जाएगी अब।
बिल्कुल हो जाएगी सर, सारा कुछ ही हमारा तो जीवन अस्त व्यस्त हो गया है कल से लेके, क्योंकि ये हमारे रास्ते हैं। हमारी सड़कें टूट गई हैं। ये हमारा पुल था। इस पुल को हमारे 50 गांव उधर के 50 गांव इस साइड के कनेक्टिविटी थी हमारी, वो सारा ही अस्त व्यस्त हो गया। हम एक दूसरे के पास जा नहीं सकते। बिजली गुल हो गई है हमारे गांवों में। खंबे खुंबे अभी और गिरेंगे क्योंकि उसके जड़ों में पानी पड़ गया है।
The Ghaggar River is flowing right here and the extent of the damage because of the rain, and now there's some relief given the fact that it's not rained in the past couple of hours, but 20 villages have been completely evacuated as well. Those which were labeled as flood prone here in Mohali, those villages have been evacuated and now it remains to be seen how much the farmers have to stare in terms of losses. In Amlala village in Mohali with camera person Sushil Rathi, Vedant for NDTV.
And while it's not just Himachal Pradesh and Punjab anymore, but there's a big rain worry in Uttarakhand as well, with heavy rain in parts of Uttarakhand. Roads have caved in, lives have been lost, and the Chief Minister is chairing a crucial meeting. So the rain havoc in Uttarakhand at the moment is being reported from Uttarkashi and Chamoli districts. There have been landslides in many parts, bridges have been washed away. There's a bridge at the China border which we believe has been washed away. And in fact, what we're also learning is that there are now deaths that are being reported in that accident that took place. You can see that accident in Uttarkashi. These were pilgrims who we believe at least 4 people have died and 7 have been injured after this vehicle was hit by a boulder in Uttarkashi. So dramatic visuals coming in. We're also getting in pictures at the moment of water logging in Haridwar. Now remember, these are populated areas. There are a lot of pilgrims who throng to these areas at this time of the year. So there are some dramatic pictures coming in from Uttarakhand as well. Remember, weather experts had been warning that the rain pattern from Himachal is going to move towards Uttarakhand, predicting heavy to very heavy rainfall in parts of Uttarakhand over the next 48 hours.
ये मौसम आते ही हम लोग पूरे अलर्ट मोड में होते हैं। सभी जिलाधिकारियों को, सभी हमारे आपदा प्रबंधन से लगे हुए लोगों को, जितने भी अधिकारीगण, कर्मचारीगण जो भी इस काम को कर रहे हैं, उन सभी को अलर्ट मोड में रहने के लिए कहा है। और किसी भी स्थिति से निपटने के लिए जो हमारी अन्य संस्थाएं काम कर रही हैं, इसमें एनडीआरएफ है, एसडीआरएफ है, आईटीबीपी के लोग हैं, सेना के लोग हैं, हमारा पीडब्ल्यूडी डिपार्टमेंट है, सभी एक दूसरे से तारतम्य करते हुए, समन्वय बनाते हुए जो भी स्थिति आएगी उस स्थिति का सामना करेंगे, उस स्थिति में लोगों को सहायता करेंगे।
And let's now shift our focus to the national capital. Many areas of Delhi are inundated as well. There's been waterlogging after heavy rains and, of course, rise in the water levels in the Yamuna. Now, a massive road is caved in near the iconic India Gate, but water has entered homes and residents are stuck as a result of Water flowing above the danger level in the Yamuna in Delhi. Rail traffic on the historic Yamuna bridge has been stopped, and the Delhi government has started relief operations in the national capital as well, with evacuations being carried out on the banks of the Yamuna.
दिल्ली की जनता वाटर लॉगिंग से परेशान है। ये एक हर साल का रिचुअल बनकर चला आ रहा है। जो सीवेज की क्लीनिंग होनी चाहिए वो नहीं होती है। जो ड्रेन वाटर को हार्वेस्ट करना चाहिए या उसको प्रॉपर ट्रीट करना चाहिए वो नहीं हो रहा है। सालों साल से जो नहीं हुआ है उसकी वजह से हर वक्त वाटर लॉगिंग होती है। यमुना की डिसिल्टिंग रेगुलर होनी चाहिए जिससे कि उसकी वाटर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी बढ़े। नजफगढ़ ड्रेन की डिसिल्टिंग रेगुलर होनी चाहिए जिसकी वजह से उसकी वाटर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी बढ़े। ये सब चीज़ें ना होने की वजह से आज दिल्ली के अंदर जगह जगह पर पानी भरा हुआ है। ये दुखद है और मेरी कोशिश होगी कि इन सब चीज़ों पर ध्यान दिया जाए।
फिलहाल इस वक्त हम यमुना में हैं जिसका जल स्तर अचानक बढ़ गया है और पानी लगातार बढ़ता ही जा रहा है। अभी जो स्थिति है वो 206 मीटर से ज़्यादा जल स्तर हो चुका है और फिलहाल हम यमुना में देखिए कि किस तरीके से यमुना में वो धार नज़र आ रही होगी, पानी का बहाव नज़र आ रहा होगा। जो आमतौर पर यमुना बिल्कुल सूखी और सुतली नज़र आती थी, अब हथनीकुंड बैराज से परसों रात करीब 1 बजे से जो 50 लाख क्यूसेक से ज़्यादा पानी छोड़ा गया है उसका असर दिल्ली के यमुना में देखने को मिल रहा है। कई लोगों को इवैक्यूएट किया गया है, सही जगह पे पहुंचाया गया है और हम ये समझने और देखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं इस बोट के ज़रिए, जो बोट क्लब से हरीश जी हैं वो लेकर आए हैं कि किस तरीके से हम चीज़ों को अंजाम देते हैं और कैसे लोगों को इवैक्यूएट करते हैं वो भी देखने की कोशिश करेंगे। लेकिन यहाँ पर आप देखिए कि अनाउंसमेंट वाला दौर जो चल रहा है वो चल रहा है।
किया जाता है, यमुना का वाटर लेवल काफ़ी तेज से बढ़ने पर है। कृपया करके यमुना से दूर रहें और अपने बच्चों अपने मवेशियों का ख्याल रखें। कोई भी यमुना किनारे बिल्कुल ना आए, बिल्कुल ना आए।
तो यहाँ पर अनाउंसमेंट का दौर चल रहा है। हमारे साथ हरीश जी से बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे जो बोट क्लब के इंचार्ज हैं। हरीश जी, आपसे समझना चाहते हैं कि आपकी कितनी तैयारी?
हमारी तैयारी करीब 35-40 बोट हमने यमुना में उतारी हुई है जो राउंड द क्लॉक पेट्रोलिंग कर रही हैं और देख रही हैं कोई किसी प्रकार की किसी को समस्या तो नहीं है। और बाकी हर बोट पे 2-2 डाइवर्स 3-3 डाइवर्स भी लगाए हुए हैं कई जगह जहाँ सिचुएशन के अनुसार।
जो इलाके से निकालने की बात है अलग अलग जगहों से, वो कितने लोगों को इवैक्यूएट पहले से हमने अनाउंसमेंट करके सही जगह पे?
हाँ, हमने 3 दिन पहले अनाउंसमेंट कर रहे हैं यमुना के अंदर कि यमुना में पानी आने वाला है, आप लोग सेफली जगह चले जाए, तो उनको पूछते वगैरह पे शिफ्ट कर दिया गया। अब यमुना के अंदर कोई नहीं है।
तो हम ये मान कर चल सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर कोई अभी तक अप्रिय घटना की कोई खबर नहीं आई?
पिछले 2 दिन में कोई अप्रिय घटना नहीं है, ना किसी की डूबने की है। और हमारी दिल्ली सरकार की तरफ से बहुत अच्छी तैयारियां हैं। सब डाइवर्स, गोताखोर, अपने लाइफ जैकेट, हर चीज़ का इंतजाम है हमारे पास।
जी। तो इवैक्यूएशन को लेकर अगर बात करें, ईस्ट दिल्ली की अगर बात करें तो ईस्ट दिल्ली में कितने लोग, क्योंकि ईस्ट दिल्ली ज़्यादा प्रभावित रहता है?
हाँ, ईस्ट दिल्ली या बोले नॉर्थ का एरिया जो भी है मतलब सारे शिफ्ट है। अब यमुना के अंदर कोई नहीं है।
यमुना के अंदर कोई नहीं है। आप यहाँ पे देखिए, ये आपको यमुना नज़र आ रही होगी और ये पानी का तेज़ बहाव नज़र आ रहा होगा कि किस तरीके से यमुना उफनती हुई फ़िलहाल है। और ये उफान जो है उसके बाद लोहे का जो पुराना पुल है जिस पर से ट्रेनों की आवाजाही होती है, गाड़ियां गुजरती हैं, उसको बंद कर दिया गया है। ट्रेनों को डाइवर्ट किया गया है, अल्टरनेट रूट से निकाला जा रहा है। लोगों के लिए वो रास्ता नहीं है। साथ में जो दिल्ली के उपराज्यपाल हैं उन्होंने दौरा किया और दौरा करने के बाद ये भी कहा कि डिसिल्टिंग को लेकर अगर समय पे कदम उठाए जाते तो शायद इस तरह की नौबत नहीं आती जो यमुना अभी फ़िलहाल उफान पर है। तो ये सीखने और समझने की कोशिश है कि किस तरीके से ये जब ये स्थिति पैदा हुई है उस स्थिति में कैसे उससे निपटा जाए, कैसे उसको लेकर रणनीति बनाई जाए, कैसे लोगों को सही जगह पे पहुंचाई जाए। तो ये तमाम कोशिश और कवायद का सिलसिला जो है वो फ़िलहाल चल रहा है।